Chapter 6. Voices in the Void. The darkness came alive. It slithered along the walls, spilled onto the floor like black smoke slowly thickening around her. Katerina stepped back, searching desperately for any way out. "Jonathan?" Her voice dissolved into the suffocating silence. No response. She clenched her fists, forcing herself to think. Jonathan couldn't have just vanished. Something had taken him. The black mist shifted as if reacting to her fear. Katerina spun around and she saw another door. It hadn't been there a second ago. She could feel something waiting beyond it. But if Jonathan was there... She stepped closer and placed her hand on the cold wooden surface, and then the voices spoke, not whispers, screams. "He doesn't belong here. You cannot go in. You've already lost him." Katerina jerked back. She shut her eyes, fighting the rising panic. "This isn't real. This isn't real." A deep breath. Jonathan needed her. And before fear could stop her, she pushed the door open. Katerina found herself in a long hallway. The walls were covered in old cracked mirrors. Each one reflected her, but differently. In one, she was older. In another, she had no face. In the third, she stood beside Jonathan, but it wasn't him. Her hands trembled as she walked past them. "Jonathan." She barely managed to say his name. Somewhere ahead, someone laughed. Katerina froze. It was his voice. But something was wrong. She gathered every ounce of courage and moved forward. The corridor narrowed. The mirrors grew larger. Their reflections moved out of sync. The last mirror was the biggest. Katerina looked into it and she saw Jonathan. He stood behind her. "Jonathan!" She spun around, but there was no one there. She turned back to the mirror. Jonathan was still there, smiling. His eyes were black. Katerina took a step back. The reflection did too. "That's not you." And then he spoke. "Katya, don't turn around." A chill ran through her chest. Something was behind her, and it was breathing down her neck. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more terrifying tales. Tell me, what would you do if you saw something staring at you in the fog? Let's discuss in the comments. iCloud.